Okay, so some rather, I don't want to say shocking news, but this is a pretty interesting news regarding world sports and Olympic sports. So the Russia has been banned from using its name in the next two Olympics or at any world championships for the next 2 years. So this was ruled by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, the Lausanne Base Court. I think I said that right. Halved the 4-year ban proposed last year when Russia was accused of tampering of a test laboratory database in Moscow, and uh, they're still allowed to compete in the Olympics and event and other world events. But due to tampering with the laboratory and doping that they were caught doing, they are banned from using their name in Olympic sports. And this was reported by ESPN's Associated Press. So I'll let you go first, Nate. What do you think about the Russian's name being banned from Olympic sports for the next two Olympics?
I just want to ask a couple questions before I give you my thoughts. So one, it's the next two Olympic appearances, right? Because remember, there's the Winter and Summer Olympics.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right.
Next
So
two Olympic events. And
and
then
that's
and
through
then the
all and
World
that's through
Championship for the next two events.
that's through
For
all
next.
sports, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm just making sure I got that right. All right. Yeah, man. That's them damn Russians are shady, man. Nah, I'm just messing. But anyway, yeah. I mean, this is a big deal. I don't know what they were doing with the samples in those laboratories, whatever they were doing. Um, but that's just a big deal. It's something you can't be doing. I don't know what they were doing exactly with the test laboratories. What were they doing exactly though? Were they like was it for like
It does
some
not say. It just says they were accused of tampering in a testing laboratory database in Moscow. The ruling was also blocked in Russia from bidding to host major sports events for the next 2 years. So it doesn't really say what they were caught with, just tampering. So I assume it's actually connected to the doping that they were also caught with. But
yeah.
just a little bit addition. Their flag is also banned and their anthem is also banned from the Olympic events in all the World Championship events for the next 2 years.
Yeah, man, you can't be doing that. That's can't be doing that, And not only is it through the next two Olympic events, but it's through all the sports too. I mean, that's a big deal. I'm kind of surprised they. Oh, actually, yeah, I am kind of surprised they let them even compete in this. Well, I'm more interested in the fact that they're not going to allow them to use their anthem, their name, their flag. So I'm really curious if they even do compete, which I'm sure they will. Um, how they're going to go about with that? What are they going to use as a symbol? Where are they going to use their name? What stuff like that? Where are they going to use as a anthem now that they can't use their own? But it's a you're right. It's a very interesting topic, and quite frankly, it's kind of hard to put in the words. It's just bizarre, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with you. See, it really is complicated, man. Like it really is because I mean, recently, Russian Olympic athletes have been caught with doping a lot, and especially like I remember the gymnasts were caught. Um, I think those were the recent ones, but it's weird. They said they can put their names on their uniforms, but like it has to have something like neutral competitor or something like that, something weird like that. And it's hard to figure out what they're gonna use as a name because it's not like Korea. For instance, like the Korea's kind of if you looked at like the Koreas in the Olympics, they North Korea and South Korea combined to make one team, so they just called it Korea. You know, the Russians don't really have anybody to really combine with, unless you want to count like Polish or you know what I'm saying. But like I don't think they're gonna do that or Bulgarian, unless they put them together. But I don't think they're gonna be willing to put. I don't think Bulgaria or Polish is willing to share a team with the Russian Olympic members. It really is weird. It really is weird. I mean, their old name used to be the Soviets, so I mean, like I don't know if they'll go back to that, maybe, but like it's just a complicated thing. It's just a complicated situation, and it's hard to find another name for for the Russian Olympic team, you know. But I mean, they're really lucky that it's just their name. I mean, that probably annoys them, but it's not as bad for them as them possibly not playing in these Olympics. Because let me tell you something. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. As much as like the Olympics history goes back so far, so far. Like the Olympics are like I don't care. I don't. You can look at any sport in the world, but the Olympics is the one sport that I feel like is the most important time for you to win. It is the most important time for you to win. You know, you can have the world championships, but guess what? Usain Bolt ain't Usain Bolt unless he wins those 8 gold medals. Michael Phelps is not Michael Phelps unless he wins those 27 or 28 gold medals. You know what I'm saying? So like the Olympics really do make athletes. They really do make countries. They really do put countries on the map. And I think like the U.S. basketball team, they weren't considered like the standard for like all professional American athletes until professional athletes were allowed to play on the U.S. Olympic team, which ended up causing like the Dream Team, the Redeem Team, and all these other U.S. Olympic teams. But I mean, but going back to the actual situation, Russia, um, they could abbreviate their name, maybe they could probably abbreviate their name, maybe something like that. But like, I just can't think of a lot of things they can name their team. You know?
Yeah, it's a very tough and complicated situation. I mean, like you said, they could go back to like obviously they were called the Soviets because they were the USSR before they became Russia. Russia's name is actually very young, if you think about it. They were formed in the late '80s after the Berlin Wall fell. So like they could go back to their former identity. I don't think that's something that they're gonna do, but
I'll
it's a
say this:
possibility.
since I'm on Google, there was a thing that said what are two nicknames for Russia, and the two names Russia and Moscovia. So they could use Moscovia too.
Yeah,
It's
right.
but like but honestly, dude, it's I don't know. This is just a bizarre situation. Like I don't
It
even know what to
is.
say about this situation. I mean, like they were caught doping and they do deserve to be punished. But like I don't remember any countries like it's been a while since countries were banned, if they were even banned from the Olympics. You know, I'd have to go back 300 years ago, back in like like 200 or 300 years ago, back in like the 1800s. You know, 1700s, 300 years ago. You know, so like it's hard. Like, I mean, I don't know how many countries have ever been banned in the Olympics, but I just can't really see Russia being banned from the Olympics. I can't see it. Not that they don't deserve it, but I just can't see Russia being banned. You know. So I mean, this is like the best punishment they could possibly give them. Obviously, if they win the gold medal, their name is not on the medal, but they still win a gold medal. If like you know what I'm saying, they still bring it back. So like I mean, it's not really like a punishment, except their name's not. It's like if the United States of America were to supposedly change their name, you know what I'm saying? The gold medal ain't gonna say United States, but it still goes home to the United States. So depending on how people see it, depending on how they're gonna take it. But I mean, this is just a bizarre situation. Honestly, I have nothing else to say about it.
As do I.